us, but she don't understand it. Hey, you know what? This man is getting ready to pour God essence into me. Meaning our worlds are about to blend. Meaning your habits and your morals and your all this kind of stuff and mine, my morals, my way of thinking, my way of life, the world, like they're getting ready to become one. If she don't understand that, bro, think again, man. If she doesn't understand that, think again, bro. Because now you're actually blending energies with an entity, with a woman that's getting ready to alter your world and don't even know the rules of engagement, don't even know the right playbook, isn't even reading from the right recipe. It seems so minor, bro, but I'm telling you, when you find yourself and you clear all energies out from yours and it's just yours, you have a better understanding of the way this thing works. Eddie's brothers, and I'll be honest, when I started this journey that I want to speak on today, man, I had no intentions of sharing this information with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I figured I would just take me a little journey, get me some clarity, get me some understanding, and then just carry on with life as per usual, man. But things took a turn that I didn't see life making, and I gained some understanding, man, that I must share with my brothers. And that brothers is that knowledge is, or that information is, how the yoni no longer has control over me and what that means exactly. You know what I'm saying? First off, let me give a shout out to my brothers in the Power Circle, man, because that's where this whole thing started, right? Shout out to my brother James Pennant, man, wearing his gear today, Become Transform. James is a member of the Power Circle, man. He actually started a 30 for 30 push-up challenge today, man. So we all excited about that in the circle. But this whole journey, man, of abstaining started from a conversation in the Power Circle, man. At the end of last year, I don't know what we were talking about, man. We were just having one of our normal meetings, and the conversation took a turn, and brothers started talking about, abstinence. Some brothers were like, hey, man, I just started this journey last week. Some brothers were like, I started mine 2 or 3 months ago. One brother in there was saying, hey, man, I think I'm a couple of years deep. He was on some red man type shit, right? And it had me thinking. And I said, man, maybe that's something I ought to try, man. Again, just to gain some clarity and understanding, right? So I started on this 30-day journey, and I'll be honest, like 30 days deep, I gained some clarity. I gained more, I would say, some self-awareness, identified some kinks in my armors, identified some ways I was looking at the world that may have been setting me back in certain areas. But after 30 days, man, it was almost like I wanted to go deeper. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take this thing from 30 days to 90 days, man. And I'll be honest, what would take place over those next 60 days, man, was game changing to the way I see the world, and has altered the way I'm going to progress in life, right? So I want to start off by saying this, man. I don't think we as men really have an understanding of how much sex is a driving force for us. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, we're all men that understand our power. We understand what we're capable of, but we don't understand how that need for or that craving for women and that craving for that level of intimacy, man, plays a part on our decision making. So again, we're powerful men, but when we think about the places we want to live, when we think about the places we want to frequent on the weekends, when we think about the things we want to follow on social media and all kind of other areas, on a subconscious level, it's being governed. Your decisions are being made by sex at the end of the day. And again, I don't think a lot of men understand that, right? So what happens is, if our mind's compass is the yoni, then at some point in time, man, or over the course of many years, what we're really doing is sacrificing the kingdom for it. We're sacrificing the kingdom for it. And when I say sacrificing the kingdom for it, what I mean is we're sacrificing not really as much as the connection with source, and a little bit, I can say connection with source, but we're sacrificing the kingdom that could be built. We're sacrificing the things that we're able to do by chasing the yoni, by giving the energy, by making our decisions strictly based on that. You know what I'm saying? Like think about it. Don't just take my word and say, oh, that may be true. No, think about your life. Think about all the decisions you've made over the last 5 years, 15 years. For some of y'all, 20, 25 years. Think of the things that you could have done, what you could have accomplished, the mountains you could have moved if yoni or obtaining the yoni or getting that bad chick, being able to sleep with her wasn't a thing. If it wasn't a thing, think about how far you could have moved. To really understand this, man, you got to understand, like if you have any friends, if you have any people in your circle, man, that they really don't like, like I got some partners, man, like they really don't date. They really don't. You ain't never heard them talking about marriage. You ain't never, I've seen them in a relationship once, maybe over the last number of years. Like they just locked in. People like that move different. They accomplish things different. Not saying that they don't entertain women or whatever, but they just move different when that focus and that power is at the forefront. So the first thing I understood, man, is that how I understood how much, the yoni had governed my life. And I had to go all the way back to my teenage years. Like a lot of times, I'll say this. A lot of times us as men, we know how to move to accomplish a certain thing. Like once we understand how to tap into the universal mind and say, you know what? Okay, I want to hit that 6-figure mark. Okay, I want to do whatever. I want to accomplish this. I want to start this business. We know how to do it. But you got to understand, man, it's a bandwidth issue. Like you only, everybody has 24 hours in a day, man, but bandwidth is limited. And if you're giving a lot of your bandwidth to chasing a certain thing, you're only building your kingdom with a small part of that. And I understood that. I started understanding that, man, about 35, 45 days deep. That the yoni was my compass. And that I could have been light years ahead of where I am now if I would have known this, right? So fast forwarding, man, to deeper into that 90-day journey. Or I'll just say this. I'll just kind of tell you what state it's put me in as a whole, right? It's put me in a state of, I guess the only word I can think of to use, man, is neutral. It's put me in a state, man, where I can still recognize the yoni, see the yoni, somewhat crave the yoni, but it's put me in a position, I'm talking about going through these 90 days of no sex, it's put me in a position to see the yoni at face value and not crave it like I had been in the past. You know what I'm saying? And when I say neutral, I guess neutral is the word I'm looking for, but it's put me in a position where and I'm trying to avoid saying this, but where I no longer, at least at this present time, no longer need it. No longer subliminally crave it. And it's weird because my decision making is so much clearer. Like the way I see the world, because now this bandwidth and this subliminal effort that was always being put out is now with me, and I can do something. So what that's done, man, is put me in a neutral position. Not saying I'm not attracted to women, not saying that I don't still desire to entertain that, but I can see it at face value. Meaning now when I'm out, whether I'm at a mall, whether I'm at a restaurant, I can see how women move now to get men. And I'm talking about just in a room. When a woman walks in a room, she's putting a certain level of essence out, as she should. It's in her nature that attracts men. Every woman is doing this in their own way. I can see that essence now, and I can just call it what it is at face value. You know what I'm saying? And can see a beautiful woman and not allow myself to tap into that as much into that, that earthly instinct, that physical instinct as I had before. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if I'm out driving and I drive past a Popeye's chicken. Of course, I'm gonna look over there, man. I'm like, damn, I know that chicken is hidden right now. But it's like, is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? Is it worth me? Is it worth me coming down this mountain of consciousness that I found to go partake in that chicken? That's what I mean by neutral. Because now I'm understanding the energy and the power that most men distribute towards it. And if a man understands what would take place if he holds on to it, what would happen? I mean, think about being in a neutral position, bro. And when I say neutral position, again, it's not about being in a state of not desiring women. But now I understand, man, that the desire I've had for women over the last my entire life has handicapped me, has set me back. Like at some point, the men before us should have set us down and say, bro, this is how life is going to work. This is what you're going to crave, but you need to understand what this energy is and you need to build with it. It's simply a matter, when I say neutral, it's simply a matter of me understanding what this power is and just being conscious of where this power goes in a nutshell. And the strange thing is, and I understand that it's an energy and a phase that I'm in where I feel like this, but at this present moment, with the way this feels, man, I could honestly see myself going the remainder of my days in this energy. It's that much of a high. You know what I'm saying? I've had some great liquors, man. I remember my stepfather gave me a 40-year-old bottle of scotch for my 40th birthday, man. That was some of the best drink I've had, quality, right? You know, I remember, I've entertained some things over my time, man, to get my mind in a certain state. There's nothing that can compare to this, bro. There's nothing that can compare to this. The clarity, the bandwidth that I have back, bro. And I'm trying to find words to put it into. You know what I'm saying? It's put me in a state of really just loving the solitude of life. Loving the solitude, loving the swimming in my own energy and understanding the power of that energy type vibe. You know what I'm saying? I heard a brother the other day, man. It was a podcast I was watching, and he was talking about why people should be connecting. That's what, man, you need to go out and get a woman because you don't want to die alone. It was like, you know, I really don't mind dying alone, bro. You know, to be honest, of course, the best scenario, man, is being able to have a woman in your life, man, and when you're passing or when she's passing, to be there holding your mate's hand, man, as they cross over, you know. But we came to this planet by ourselves, man. Like who's to say we you know, it's not a peaceful thing to leave it by yourself. It all depends on how you're living, man. And I'm gonna say this is not a video to promote, hey brothers, we need to leave. It ain't that kind of video. Cause y'all know my stance on that. I love relationships. I love union. But man, I'm gonna tell you this. There's a power in swimming in your own energy. There's a power that I can't say a lot of us, but I know I miss. What is forced me to do is go back and recalibrate and re-understand the first marriage of man, the marriage within myself. That's what it's forced me to do. It's forced me to go back inside and reestablish and recalibrate and understand the power that I have within myself. Because you got to understand, man, when we're in this world, again, if it's a 50-50 split of energy, you know, like within oneself, half goes toward the physical, half goes toward the spiritual. By me subduing that physical is put more of that energy in the spiritual, right? By me subduing the physical is put me more in my spiritual state, which is put me more into, closer to God, if you want to say it like that. That has put me deeper into universal mind. And I'm gonna tell you, man, once you are subjective to that, man, and you understand what it is and what you can do with it, man, it makes it I don't want to say difficult, but it makes you really think about the way you're living your life. It makes you really think about the places you're putting your energy. And I'm gonna tell you, man, a lot of times we're putting our energy into these women when it really should be putting our energy into building. it's kind of it's kind of like when I used to see my son back when he was young, man. He was a youngster playing GTA, and I believe when he was playing GTA at this point, GTA was probably a little bit too much for him, a little too graphic, a little too language and all that stuff. But my son, we playing GTA, right? Him and his boys be online or whatever. They be completing missions and robbing banks and all kind of stuff, right? And every once in a while, you see them go past these clubs where these women were hanging out. Or you see these women on the street. Hey, Poppy. Hey, Daddy. Want to have a good time? And my son and his partners just be trucking along. like it wasn't even a thing. Like that wasn't even part of the game. And as a result of that, man, my son would have all these condos on the game, a garage full of cars, and just accomplishing goals. Not understanding what I was seeing then is kind of what I'm explaining now. And again, it's not about abandoning relationships, but understanding our power first and building our kingdoms first. Building our kingdoms, man. Like the crazy thing is, like I've had, we all have goals, man. And I have my 1 year goals. I have my, 3 to 5 year goals. I have my goals where I see myself in the next 7 to 10 years. It's by me taking this journey, it's actually collapsed time. Like when I say I gained the clarity and understanding and power, I can see now where my 3-5 year goals, maybe a little further, I can see now where those goals are 9 months to a year. I'm gonna say it again. One thing is giving me the ability to do by harnessing this power, by holding my power, is giving me the ability to see what I thought I was going to accomplish in the next maybe 4, 5, 6 years. And it's been able to collapse that time to where I can actually step into that right now and manifest that now in the near future is what I'm saying. If y'all get what I'm saying, it's giving me that clarity. And I'm talking about just in this small window of time. So, man, it's just, and really the only reason I'm having this conversation, man, is because we really have, and I'm only speaking to the guys. I'm only speaking to the guys because a lot of y'all brothers is like, no, every weekend I got to have a new chick. And I get it. But I'm talking to the guys that are saying, man, I'm trying to, when I leave this planet, I want my family to be different. I want my sons and daughters to be different because I want them to see the difference in me. Like I got people in my family I want to put on and put in position to do certain things and move a certain way. And it starts with me. So I'm talking to those guys, man. Understand where you're putting your power at. Understand how much the yoni has had power over you up until this point. Understand how much of a high it is to understand the power of the first marriage of man marriage within himself, higher and lower, and understand what you can do with that before you even thinking about bringing another one or bringing a woman on to build that kingdom. Which brings me to the third point, man. You have to understand that if you do take this route, man, take a journey of abstinence, whether it's a weekend, whether it's 30 days, whether it's a year, whatever it is, right? You got to understand that when you decide to come out of that energy, you have to understand it's a trade-off. You have to understand that once you start partaking back in the act, there's going to be a level of clarity that's going to diminish a little bit. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing because there has to be some beauty in that. If I'm losing some clarity, if I can't see as far down the road, then surely I'm gaining something. Surely the energy is going somewhere else, and now I'm supposed to put this energy into a woman so now she can recycle the energy as she should, right? But you have to understand there's going to be some clarity lost. So again, when I hear stories like Red Man going 2 years or Marion or whatever his name, or Marion going some years, I understand what them brothers were thinking now. Because you would think, man, hey, why don't you just get you a little clarity? I understand them brothers understood that, hey, you know what? Once I come out of this energy, there's going to be a trade-off, which means once you come out of that energy, you start partaking in that act again, brothers, be very cautious of who you give that energy to. In other words, if you're going to sacrifice clarity and maybe even levels of understanding and insight, You have to understand that if I'm going to give up this clarity for pleasure, who in the hell am I giving it to? And you have to make sure that person is worth that energy you're harnessing. Because see, now what it does is it lets you understand the power of that energy. See, a lot of it is us as men don't understand the power of that sexual energy that we harness. Either the sexual, us craving it, or the energy itself that we're giving out. We don't understand what that is. And to be honest, if we live to be 1,000 years, I don't think we'll fully understand what that is. I think it's that powerful. You know what I'm saying? If it has the ability to create life, it's a powerful thing. So we have to be cautious of the people we're giving it to, man. And I will say this, man, if you do finally understand what that power is, and you do take that journey of abstinence, and you do come out and you want to reinvest this energy back into the world with, by exchanging in the act, that act with the woman, man, I will say this. Make sure it's a woman that, one, knows what that power is, and two, understands what to do with that power. I'm gonna say it again, man, because I need you to really hear me out on this. I need you to really think about the women that you spending time with, the women that you meeting at the club, and y'all having these one night stands that you don't know who she is and what she's getting ready to build with this God essence you're putting in her. You don't understand that you're sacrificing this clarity to give this woman some pleasure and God energy. It's just a weekend thing for you. Once you gain this understanding of what it is you have and what it is you're distributing it out and what it is that the clarity you're getting ready to back away from just a little bit, the woman you're doing this with must understand what that power is. And then she must understand what to do with it. And when I say she must understand what that power is, I'm saying that woman must have completed the first marriage of man within herself. Like if she's not one with herself, then she don't even understand what it is you're giving her. She don't even understand the energy you're pouring into her. Oh, she wants to climax and she's feeling a certain way, like as we all, the physical part of us, but she don't understand it. Hey, you know what? This man is getting ready to pour God essence into me. Meaning our worlds are about to blend. Meaning your habits and your morals and your all this kind of stuff and mine, my morals, my way of thinking, my way of life, the world, like they're getting ready to become one. If she don't understand that, bro, think again, man. If she doesn't understand that, think again, bro. Because now you're actually blending energies with an entity, with a woman that's getting ready to alter your world and don't even know the rules of engagement, don't even know the right playbook, isn't even reading from the right recipe. It seems so minor, bro, but I'm telling you, when you find yourself and you clear all energies out from yours and it's just yours, you have a better understanding of the way this thing works. So make sure when you come out of that zone, if you do take that journey, man, make sure it's with a woman that understands what it is. And then understands what she's supposed to do with it. What she's supposed to do with it. Again, all I'm making this video for, man, is because, like I'm always saying, man, the thing that I want for myself, I want for my brothers. And it's like the vision I've been able to incorporate, man, the way I'm able to see things, the way I'm able to, like the shots I'm calling now, the things that I have planned for the next 6, 9, 12 months. It's almost like I'm still shocked at the decision. I was talking to my sister the other day. Shout out to my sister out in East Texas, Veronica. Y'all might know her as Dr. V here in Texas, man. Me and my sister were talking the other day, man, and we were just talking about all kind of things under the sun, man. I kind of started sharing some things with her on like what I plan on doing over the next, number of months. And she was just like, wow. And as she was saying that, I was saying the same thing because I was like, wow, like 90 days ago, this wasn't even on my radar. 90 days ago doing this kind of thing and doing XYZ. Like it wasn't even a thing to me. It was something that I saw down the road. But again, it's giving me the ability to collapse time, right? It's giving me the ability to know more of who I am and what I'm capable of. But it's also put me in an energy where I'm now stingy with that energy. I'm very cautious with that energy. I'm tiptoeing around the thought of, do I want to relinquish this power? Like is everything associated with the yoni, the relationship, like is it all worth just living my life in GTA mode like my son used to play the game? I said this a few videos ago, man. I said it wasn't until I was 40 years old that I even thought about what would life be like if I just focused on myself. I never even thought about it till after 40 years old. So it's like now my mind is revisiting that conversation, but now I'm revisiting that conversation with a power pack on my back. Now I'm revisiting that conversation with knowledge of understanding of what I'm capable of. So it's a different conversation, man. It's a different conversation, man. But just be aware of this. Understand that the majority of men understand that there is understand that the yoni, man, has more influence on you than you think. Like you gotta understand, like a lot of times we can get up, go to work Monday through Friday, shut it down on the weekend, and then getting this energy of hey man, who can I entertain? Who can I have flued out? Who can I, have dinner and drinks with, man, and connect with? What club can I go to, man, and maybe have a one night stand with a baddie or da 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 da. You gotta understand, it seems like you're cutting it on and cutting it off, but you gotta understand it's always on. Even when you're working, focused on the grind, it's on if you don't understand that it's a switch even there. It's always on. When you're thinking about future plans, where you're going to be, what you're going to do, it's governing that if you're unaware that it's there. If you don't understand that compass is trying to be in your life, that society has put it there, however you want to put it, if you don't understand that compass to the yoni is there, it's governing you and you don't even know it, bro. So all I'm saying is, man, don't let the yoni have power over you, brothers.